We're going to be learning another Musaf for Chok L'Yisrael, Parashat Shemot for Thursday. Ha'olam hazeh yam so'er. This world is like a raging sea. Tzarich ledamot ha'adam be'da'ato ki'ulu shad bayam. Person should think, consider himself as if he was swimming in the sea. V'lachen yarim rosho lemala liyotzro. That's why he has to raise always his head upwards. Just like when you swim in the sea, you don't put your head inside the water all the time. You have to raise your head above water. That way also a person has to raise his head lemala, upwards, leotzro, towards his maker, towards Hashem. V'Yizrael pen yikansu befiv hamayim hazedonim. He should be careful lest the treacherous waters enter his mouth. V'yishamer min hagalim haba'im letordo. And he should be careful and guard himself against the waves that come to knock him over. And if he's not guarding himself, he's not careful, his blood is on his head. In other words, he will be held responsible. So a person has to be aware of the risks that are involved, just like the risks in a treacherous sea, in a raging sea also in this world. There are things that a person can slip, can make a mistake, can be tempted to do something that is wrong. He has to always be careful and be on guard not to do anything that is wrong. And also, just like in a sea, he has to keep his head above water. He should always reach up his head to look heavenward and to look towards Hashemayim, to pray to Hashem, and to have his mind in prayer or asking Hashem to help him. So he should raise up his head upwards and be careful from not making mistakes. Ben Adam, he speaks to man. He tells him, son of man, סוכת שלום פרוס על ראשך וביתך בכל עוז ותוקף והלכת בדרכיו דכתיב עושה שלום ממרומיו. He says here, person has to be sure to spread above his head with great strength a tent of peace over your head and over your household. ופרשו בזוהר אם דכתיב עושה ולא עשה שתמיד עושה לכן גם אתה תמיד תעשה שלום. It's a prayer, every prayer, important prayer, at the end of it we say Oseh Shalom Bimromav. The end of Amidah, the end of Birkat Mazon, the end of Kaddish. Oseh Shalom Bimromav. Hashem who makes peace in the heavens will make peace here. And what is Oseh in present tense, not just in the past. So constantly a person has to seek peace and has to always be involved in pursuing peace, in seeking peace. Demut alashon herev hadda le'anshe milhama. The tongue of a person looks like a sharp sword, like a sword, comme une épée en français. Oui, comme une épée. La langue c'est comme une épée. The tongue is like a sword. So the righteous people use the tongue. How do they use the tongue? Studying Torah, praying. So it's like a sword that they use to fight against the evil inclination. That's how the tzaddikim use it, that sword. And the Reshaim, the wicked one, used their tongue in the wrong way, like by Lashon Hara, by speaking evil speech, by being talebearers, by using the tongue in the wrong way. They use the tongue as a sword against Yetzer Atov, against the good inclination. So the tongue can be used as a sword either for good, when you use it for Torah, or for bad, when you use it for evil speech and bad speech. Ketiv, the Pasuk says in Tehillim, Se'afim saneti ve'torah techa ahavti. What is Se'afim saneti? I hate twisted thoughts, and I love your Torah. Uchtiv ashrei temim edarech ha'olechim be'torat Hashem. It's written also, fortunate are those who are wholehearted in their path and walk in the way of God's Torah. Uchtiv ashrech al Hashem yavcha. Another pasuk says, cast your burden on God, on Hashem. הכוונה כי כמה זמן האדם מעמד בידיו לריק בחושבו על ענייני עולמו פרנסתו. So much time a person wastes in vain, thinking so much about his parnasah, about his livelihood, about this thing of this world. וסוף אדם להבל דמה. And at the end, after all, a person's end is like vapor, is like vanity. כלומר, מהרהר וחשב ובטל זמנו, ואינו משגיח כי ימיו כצל עובר. He could be so worried about so many friends, he doesn't pay attention that his days pass like a fleeting shadow. Instead of wasting time on all sorts of thoughts, he should do many mitzvot and prepare them for Olam Haba. והתיה מקללה והשלום הוא יסוד המעלה, יקוס נברתו, לתקן אשר איבד וליסוד ארץ. So he said here, and from this much peace is produced. This is the foundation. This is the beginning of going up in holiness. All these things that we spoke about. Use the tongue for Torah. Seek peace. Be careful. And not just that, he says here, Yakutz mitargemato, let a person awaken from his slumber in order to strengthen those things that he made crooked and give a foundation to the earth by Torah and good deeds. So a person has to make the right decision, get on the right path, do mitzvot, Torah, and stay away from wrong action. This idea of worrying too much is a story that illustrates this. A person once was walking with a very heavy load on his shoulders, a backpack that was sweating, and he's very having a hard time walking. A wagon stops by, and the wagon driver there says, "Would you like a ride?" So, "Oh, thank you so much, I appreciate it." He gives him a ride. He sits next to this guy, this wagon driver, avec la calèche, right? And the guy next to him still has his backpack on his shoulder. So the wagon driver tells him, "Why are you carrying still your backpack? Put it next to you. Put it down on the, He says, "Sir, you were so nice to give me a ride. You want me to add my backpack also to you?" So, many times people worry too much. Hashem takes care of things for us.
But he has so much kavod.
No, but he thought, he didn't realize. So many times we carry too much on our shoulder. What we have to do mitzvot. We have to learn Torah. We have to do what we have to do. We have to make the right decisions. But we have to also remember always that Hashem manages the world, rules the world, and Hashem knows what's going on with every one of us. And sometimes we worry too much, let it be, like the backpack. Put it next to you. Don't keep carrying it on the shoulder the whole time. This is just a story to illustrate one of the points here in the Musar. And this was the Musar for Parashat Shemot for Thursday, Chok L'Israel. Baruch Adonai Le'olam. Amen ve'amen.